No matter the learning path that you are going to follow, there are some important concepts you should be aware of, since from one cloud profile to another, we tend to solve almost the same problems at a higher level, even if the context can differ. So, public cloud brings agility, elasticity, and scalability, disaster recovery, high availability, cost optimization, and security. You can find many advantages, but we are going to focus on these six for now. Agility is all about adopting a strategy with flexibility in mind, meaning addressing changes in a timely manner while avoiding high cost. Let me give you a use case scenario. Just imagine that a company has been normally using a server, maybe an EC2 instance, linked up with a volume, simply said a disk, for a long period to run a mission critical application. Suddenly, the server started to be slow, and an engineer checked the analytic dashboard and noticed that the disk is full. What is the solution, considering that some important data are saved on the disk and the stakeholders don't want this data to leave the server for compliance purposes or any other reason? For such cases, you can simply, if you are using Amazon Web Services for example, open your AWS dashboard, log in, and jump into the section where you can manage the volumes for your disk. It is often accessible by using the EC2 area. Then you select the disk that needs more gigabyte of RAM, and you simply increase it, and you click on the button save, and that is it. Business saved. And now the server can operate as usual. Your system administrator can simply run a script to make sure that the volume is being used on the server. That is agility, addressing changes faster, no downtimes. Now, talking about elasticity and scalability. I always prefer to put both terms in the same box because they almost refer to the same thing. They are used to define how your infrastructure behaves as the workload of your applications increase or decrease. Just imagine that a company built an app to serve their users. It is deployed into a virtual server online, maybe an EC2 on Amazon Web Services. Since it was an MVP, the focus has been only on building and shipping interesting features to convince everyone about the importance of the app. The app got used and it spread quickly with a rate of 500 users per day since the launch. A few days later, it simply went down. How to prevent peak on production? A cloud-aware team could have deployed the same application by using an auto-scaling group with specific options so that the servers will have been increased vertically, the RAM and the CPU, or horizontally by adding more servers to cover the peak and shrink down when the workload decreases. All of this being handled automatically. Disaster recovery is one of the most important criteria for a good system. It defines how your infrastructure reacts in abnormal situations where you partially or totally lost your data. Let me take another example. I find it very easy to give a proper context so that we are going to have an easygoing moment to understand the concept around. A small agency has been in charge of realizing an application in the fintech industry that will process 1,000 transactions per second. The team built the app and deployed in their custom data center as part of their contract. But the whole physical infrastructure got damaged by fire. And now they ask themselves how to prevent such huge loss for a production grade system. A simple solution could be to move to the cloud. So deploying all the services and databases somewhere in a very specific region, and maybe having a replicated region as well. As soon as you deploy your infrastructure in the cloud, you have the assurance that it is never going to be damaged by fire, because the cloud provider ensures the security of the cloud, but you are going to take care of the security of your own application and so on in the cloud. Other mechanisms can be applied in order to have some backup being saved continually. High availability almost aligns with disaster recovery that we clarified a few seconds ago. It is just about having replicated infrastructure or deployment of your applications in the cloud. If one component fails, other ones are going to take over. A long time ago, put in place infrastructure has been a nightmare. Just imagine having multiple people to manage and maintain a pack of 500 servers and so on. But nowadays, simply by accessing the console provided to you by a cloud provider, it is possible for you to have 1,000 servers without deploying anything physically. Nevertheless, you still have to make sure that your infrastructure is cost optimized, because any resource that you add in the cloud is going to add up to your bill at the end of the month. It is defined as over provisioning. Just imagine a small application that needs 8 GB of RAM, but your engineer developed the application and deployed it on a, 32 GB of RAM server. So we are wasting in terms of resources for such cases. It often happens, so we have to be more strict on that. And last but not the least, personally, security should be the main concern for anyone in the cloud. It's important no matter your role. You have to remember that the cloud provider only ensures that its physical infrastructure is secure and stable, while you are responsible for the rest. Thank you for watching, and do let me know in the comment if you think more important concepts should be added to the list. And please like, share and subscribe to the channel to be aware of the next video that will cover detailed steps to go in the cloud as a career plan. Bye for now.